New York Republican Congresswoman Elise is here. She'll be in the spin room at tonight's vice presidential debate. Congresswoman, good to have you with us. Obviously, one of the biggest concerns that we have is about our U.S. assets in the region. And let's put up the map that shows the U.S. Navy assets in the region. And you can see we know that two of those assets were used today. Two destroyers were used today to intercept some of these missiles. But we heard Brigadier General Ryder say that, basically it's a game changer if U.S. Personnel or assets are hit in that region. What's your take?
My take is the fact that we are at this situation, Martha, is a direct result of the weak and failed foreign policy of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And given this horrific news today, I think we're going to hear a lot about that on the debate stage from J.D. Vance tonight. This is a result of the billions of dollars of sanctions relief from the Biden administration, essentially writing the check for these attacks on Israel, whether they were through the proxies of Hamas and Hezbollah or this unprecedented direct attack from a hypersonic ballistic missile. It is Iran who has escalated this, and Israel has a right to defend itself. And in the United States Congress, Martha, one issue that was very important that came across our desk was providing critical military aid to Israel in this most important time of need. But the Biden administration and Kamala Harris slow-walked that aid that the United States Congress overwhelmingly bipartisan passed. So, of course, this is a concern to every American. I was just at a lunch event earlier with supporters, and many of them have family members in Israel, had to leave the event, were fearful of their families' members' lives and well-being. So this is a real impact of weak foreign policy of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on display.
So let's put up the other map that shows U.S. bases and facilities in the Middle East. And you can see that obviously it's not only a concern for Israeli citizens, which is completely understandable, but also for American families who have young service members who are serving in all of these places. I mean, Israel is so tiny that you can barely see it on this map. And take a look at the Iranian missile range as we put this map up. Again, Israel obviously on the eastern Mediterranean in that image. You can barely see it, but this is the missile range that Iran has access to in that region. Is this the moment that Israel should be empowered to take out or to at least mitigate the nuclear threat that is presented on their border?
It is no question that Israel has a right to defend itself, but you bring up an important point, Martha, on U.S. assets, U.S. service members. I represent Fort Drum, home to the 10th Mountain Division, the most deployed division in the U.S. Army since 9/11. And this administration has not had the back of our men and women in uniform. If you think about the catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan, this administration needs to make it crystal clear that any threat, any targeting of U.S. forces, which, by the way, has been happening to U.S. forces in the region, that we need to make sure that never happens. And that did not happen under President Trump. We had peace and stability in the region. We had historic Abraham Accords. This would have never happened on President Trump's watch.
Yeah, obviously, tonight is a big night, and you will be in the spin room for the J.D. Vance side of the equation. So we're going to be covering that from beginning to end. Elise, Congresswoman, very good to have you with us.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you so much for joining us.